big deal for Houston on a lot of levels.
I always tell everybody this is the rodeo after the rodeo.
The hours when everything related to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is peeled away to make room for the NCAA Men's Final Four.
It's humbling, honestly, to watch this transition take place, but you've got so many dedicated people that come in there and do this.
Incredible task to get NRG Stadium ready for the games.
Not unlike the steer wrestling, team roping, and barrel racing that happened inside NRG Stadium, this transition is a timed event. And the clock starts ticking before the rodeo wraps.
We will start actually tearing things down that the public won't even notice on Saturday.
Things like unused livestock pens, according to Mike DeMarco, the rodeo's chief show operations officer. His team and rodeo volunteers build the infrastructure of the rodeo before the 3-week event, putting up tents, building livestock pens, creating the arena, a process that takes weeks. They also manage operations during the show's run.
Our job in our department is to turn the lights on and turn the lights off every day.
Our general job is to not be in the public eye. If we do our job right, you'll never see us, you'll never hear about us, but it's our responsibility to make sure everything goes smoothly.
While 2.4 million of us went to shows, rode rides, and checked out exhibits, operations teams were deep into planning for what comes next. The Final Four.
As we get ready for the NCAA Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo transition, we're already meeting and have had several meetings internally with the Parks Management Company, ASM Global, our other contractors and vendors, and along with the NCAA folks, to make sure that we can do an expedited move out so they can get in so we can play basketball in a couple weeks.
The group's used to quick transitions, like this one in 2022, converting the rodeo arena into a concert venue to host George Strait. That, though, was still a rodeo event. This is a whole teardown and rebuild in the 13 days between the final concert of Rodeo Houston on March 19th to tip-off of Game 1 on April 1st.
It's a very, very quick transition for us in NRG Stadium. We've got an entire army of folks on all sides, from the Final Four folks to the NRG Park staff, the rodeo staff, the various contractors that come in and help as well. So it's an army of folks that make this happen.
Before Luke Bryan waved goodbye to the crowd Sunday night, crews were already at work in parts of the stadium the public can't see. This is called the North Dock, and it's where most of the animals involved in the rodeo are kept during the competition. These pens are some of the first to come down.
We will be quietly moving dirt and tearing down things outside. Grand entry, wagons, horses, teams of horses will be loaded and transported out of here. They'll all be gone.
Lights up means it's time for the production teams to move in.
From the time we end concert to midnight, they will literally strike the stage, clean all the gear out.
At this point, the energy of the crowd has been replaced by a different frenzy of activity.
Communication is a linchpin to all of this because there are so many different entities involved in actually transitioning something like NRG Stadium from rodeo into the Final Four.
Housekeeping sweeps through the seats. Equipment and workers weave around the arena, removing the bucking chutes, roping boxes, action seats, and signage.
We had just started our transition from the rodeo into the NCAA Men's Final Four. We're on hour number 2. So we're hauling out all the steel right now and getting the dirt prepped and ready to be hauled.
Oh yeah, the dirt. 18 inches thick across the entire floor.
580 dump truck loads of dirt that have to come out of the stadium to get to a clean floor.
Front-end loaders, then excavators, pour the dirt into massive piles before the line of dump trucks, dozens deep outside, can load up. One after the other, they fill up and head out, bound for a rodeo storage facility off 288. This process takes hours.
It is truly a cooperative effort, and they work shifts literally through the night to make all this transition happen.
And the grind continues even after the dirt is gone.
Our housekeeping team will clean the entire floor. Our concessions partner will be restocking all the concession stands. We're cleaning this building head to toe. We're changing out air filters. We're painting walls. all of the things.
The stage comes back out to be dismantled,
It comes apart in 8 pieces.
and about 100 doors and offices get rekeyed.
There's just that little one piece, and that takes like 10 volunteers, 8 hours to knock all that out.
Everything is basically disassembled like a giant jigsaw puzzle.
You know, it's a recipe, right? When you bake something, you got to go step 1, step 2, step 3, and you can't get ahead of yourself. And if you get ahead of yourself, sometimes you cause delays, and then you have to restart and move forward.
We have a very tight timeline, but it's the same timeline that we had in 2016, but we hosted the Final Four.
And in 2011 before that.
I think we have it down.
NRG Park Assistant General Manager Leah Mastaglio says in between, about 500 events a year happen on the grounds.
We're kind of used to doing these floats, but we've been working on this one in particular for 5 years since we were awarded this back in 2018.
That 5 years of planning gets executed over the course of hours. For anyone else, it might be overwhelming.
This is the fun part of what we do. You know, most operation people are adrenaline junkies. We love this stuff because it's the challenge of running an organization, but cooperatively between the park, the NCAA folks, and our contractors and vendors and the volunteer corps, it doesn't happen.
They're going to be working around the clock for the next 2 weeks just to get this Final Four event in.
These guys do this every day. They have these massive problems and challenges of how to get a rodeo out and an NCAA men's Final Four in virtually a couple of days, and they do it.
A similar transformation happens at the George R. Brown Convention Center, home to the men's Final Four Fan Fest. Air 11 caught crews hanging signs and banners on the building, while along Avenida Houston, a 3D March Madness bracket was erected.
Covers 5 basketball courts if you put it end to end, but it's really a cool way to track the bracket.
And across the street at Discovery Green, workers get the stage set for the March Madness Music Festival, featuring Megan Thee Stallion, Lil Nas X, Tim McGraw, Keith Urban, and others.
At least 12 hours a day for 14 straight days.
To build the stage and more.
You're not seeing the artist compound built behind us with trailers. You're not seeing the Ferris wheel being brought in. You're not seeing all the other tents and activities that will be brought in for food and beverage, video boards being set up, the interactives that Capital One, Coca-Cola, and AT&T are going to set up as well.
The build-out at Discovery Green will continue right up until showtime on Friday.
It's 2 straight weeks of work for three exciting days over the weekend for Final Four weekend.
Back at NRG Park, just a short Metro Rail ride from downtown, rodeo reminders are fading, but not completely gone. Some of the 750,000 square feet of tent hasn't been torn down yet, and while most of the 600 trucks of carnival gear have been carted off, a few rides wait for a full breakdown. Crews here have been busy since Sunday night, clearing out the parking lots, peeling off signs, and installing new ones.
It is truly a cooperative effort.
A week before tip-off, the court goes in. Panel by panel.
What you're seeing right now is that the center line is being built out and anchored in, and then the court's going to get installed from there.
It was produced by the team at Connor Sports, the official hardcourt supplier for the NCAA Final Four since 2006.
The process takes place at our mill and production facility in Amasa, Michigan. A small little town of about 300 people, but they create the magic that's going on downstairs. There's probably more people working in this building right now than there are from the town that the court was created in.
From Michigan, 381 maple panels weighing 160 pounds each get shipped to the Houston area. Here they're sanded, refinished, sealed, and, as this video from Connor Sports details, painted.
That gave the court the amazing graphics that were provided to us. It's about a 2 to 3 week process to make sure everything settles, and then we get the good graces of the NCAA team in Indianapolis and we get rolling.
Weeks to perfect, hours for installation.
Here we are installing the court, getting ready for the big games in next weekend.
It makes it very real, right? And it's very exciting.
There's nothing that makes it more real to understand that the road ends here, to really see where the road will end, which is the basketball court right below us.
It's a lot of fun actually getting to see it all come together.
There is still work to do.
They literally go in, and where the floor is at from the concrete wall up, they will start removing seats, and then they'll come right behind them and build seats because they create a different seating bowl for the basketball game.
That will be a work in progress all the way up until next Friday.
NRG Stadium has come a long way from this Sunday night
There was tons and tons of dirt in here.
to this Friday afternoon.
And now it's all gone. NRG Stadium does a great job every time turning the rodeo into this beautiful basketball court.
This doesn't happen anywhere else. We're literally pulling out the largest rodeo in North America and bringing in the NCAA. It's just an absolute collective of every discipline we have out here to make this happen.
A plan years in the making,
It's been a long time coming.
executed with precision
I'm really happy to be a part of it.
to deliver the men's Final Four to Houston.
It's pretty cool. You know, we're just honored, fortunately, that the NCAA comes back to Houston time and time again.